Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Poseidon here. Today guys, we got a big quote again. Hope is something you give yourself. I think this quote is absolutely inspiring and true. So, while it's true, this quote started off as something spoken by General Iroh. Zuko echoed this proverb in later seasons, punctuating a truth that the firebender deeply needed to learn. As the full quote goes, in the darkest of times, hope is something you give yourself. And this is absolutely true. So, what does this mean, right? So, when you're in those hard times, you think and you have like these negative thoughts or something's going on, it's crazy, life is so hard. An example would be in your mind in that deep time, you just you think of something that makes you feel alive again in those tough times, something that motivates you to get out of those tough times or to see something on the other side. So for me, it was like when I was sick and I was going through a really, really hard time. And during that time, I was just like not wanting to move, unmotivated, and it was hard. But I thought to myself, like, what happens if I overcome this? Right? What's on the other side of feeling good and energized and overcoming that thing, right? And I would be able to do whatever I want in my life. I would be able to get out the house. I'd be able to move and walk because, guys, that was a tough time for me. It was not easy. So hope is something you give yourself. And that hope could be anything. And you're giving that hope in the toughest of times. Everybody goes through something difficult in their lives, and when you go through that thing, you must overcome it. Hope could sometimes be the thing that really just separates between life and death. It like a lot of people, some people don't have any hope. And unfortunately, those people that go through tough times, sometimes they don't make it through. You need hope. This is super important because life can be difficult. And the only way that you can find this hope is by being alone sometimes. It's not always, but sometimes it is the way. Because when you're alone, there's no outside source, external source that is coming to you and giving you help or hope. It's something that has to come from within. Same thing with motivation, right? Like when you're watching a quote on the internet, that quote isn't motivating you. It's triggering something inside of you that wants to be motivated. Motivation is almost like baloney because it alone is only triggering something in you, right? And I'm not saying that motivation from an external source is bad, but it's something, it triggers something from within. And hope shouldn't be from something else, it's something you give yourself. Hope is something you give yourself. Repeat this after me. Hope is something you give yourself. It is the meaning of strength. It is. Because most people have a hard time giving themselves hope or giving themselves the motivation they need to work out. That inner feeling, that thing that says this ain't enough, I gotta keep going. The thing that says I wanna keep going, I'm not giving up. That thing is within you and you gotta find it. When you find that thing, you're gonna keep going and you're not gonna give up. But most people don't see that because they don't push themselves hard enough. Or they don't go through they don't face difficult times, and they don't face times that make them self-reflect. They don't face times because they ignore those times. Some people don't want to fail. Some people don't want to go through that difficult time. So that's why they don't get these opportunities to give themselves hope, right? Like whenever you're watching a movie, perfect example, or a show like Avatar or Dragon Ball, right? Like, oh man, they're always leveling up, they're always transforming, they're always whatever it is, right? It's because they're going through the difficult time. It's because they're facing whatever it is, the difficult times they're facing. I'm forgetting the word, but they're facing their story, if that makes sense. They're facing life. They're facing it. I forgot the word. And when they face it, they have no choice but to overcome it. Because a person who's not doing anything isn't going to learn. You got to work out, you got to exercise, right? I mean, you're going to watch someone, but you're going to learn, but you got to take action too. Just because you see someone doing something, you learn something, you got to take action. You can't just, how I want to say, you can't just watch people, You got to do it yourself. You can't just watch a show. You can't just learn something in school and not put it to use. A lot of people don't take action. A lot of people don't want to take action, right? Because they don't want to fail. A lot of people don't push themselves in the gym because they don't want to fail. They'll never know how strong they truly are because they don't push themselves. And this is why most people don't face hope. Or I wouldn't say face hope, but most people don't give themselves it because they don't go through their life. They don't face the thing, which I'm forgetting the word of. But they're not facing life, man. They're not leaving their comfort zone. They're sitting inside all day. They're playing video games every day, right? Again, not bad to play video games, but not every day. Anyway, we need hope. You gotta have something to drive you. I appreciate everybody watching, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.